Hi, I'm Scott Stein, Senior Editor at CNET.com. Now, the Ultrabooks of CES have come and gone, and there are going to be a lot more Ultrabooks still to come. But one of the most interesting, solid, and reliable ones we've seen so far this year is the HP Folio 13. Now, this is a small business-oriented laptop. It's technically an Ultrabook, although what is an Ultrabook anyway at this point? The lines are getting so blurred, it's hard to figure it out. What this is a 13-inch thin laptop with SSD storage, like a MacBook Air, except thicker than a MacBook Air and heavier than a MacBook Air. What you are getting here is a more affordable price, $899 at its starting point, which compared to that $1,200 or so price of a MacBook Air is a much more affordable deal, and you get 128 gigabytes of SSD storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you get that same zippy type of Core i5 processor that's low voltage, but feels very nice and functionally fast on these types of laptops. You also get a battery that lasts about 6 hours, which is really good. Maybe not quite as good as a MacBook Air, but approaching it. And you also get more ports on this. Check out the Ethernet, also USB 3.0, and an SD card slot. A lot of those are missing on a lot of other Ultrabooks, creating a bit of a disconnect. Actually, taking this one out to CES was kind of fun because the Ethernet port made it a little more reliable for landlines. Now, it is going to take up more room in your backpack, but it's a little over 3 pounds, and it's still pretty light compared to other laptops, so it depends on what you're comparing to. It has a small business type feel, the brushed metal lid, kind of a slightly no-nonsense design, but you know what? It pays attention to the details, particularly the fact that it doesn't feel very flexy at all. It has a nice rubberized bottom, so it stays put on your desk if you're typing a lot. And the keyboard's really nice. It's full size, it has some nice key travel, felt really good when typing, and the trackpad is pretty large and uses a multi-touch with a clickpad type on it. Now, everything else is kind of par for the course. Integrated graphics, the speakers are fine, the webcams may be a little better than average. What are you using this thing for? You're using it to write, you're using it to get online. The startup time, the boot up time on this was really fast, and the cold boot up time from sleep or hibernation when you lift the lid was also really zippy and functional. It does make a slight whirring sound when using it for a while, but if you play with those CoolSense controls for cooling, maybe you can find a perfect middle zone for yourself. Overall, at $899, it's a really good value and probably one of the best feeling writing Ultrabooks that we've seen, or I've seen, in the past year. Now, if you want to pay a little bit more, spend $150 more for Windows 7 Professional, you can, but really at that $899 price, it's really got basically everything that you're looking for. I'm Scott Stein, and that's a quick look at the HP Folio 13, a business Ultrabook.